Welcome to Traveled and Unraveled. I'm Shannon and I want to inspire you to travel and create. Today, I'm going to take you along on the New Jersey WoolWalk. This is an event that happens every year in April. All the participating yarn stores in New Jersey get together. They have a passport that you can get checked off. There are prizes. Each store has door prizes. You enter to win like gift cards when you turn in your passport. And of course, there are sales. Lots of great sales. So I'm going to take you along and show you some small towns in New Jersey that I love. And also, wait, let me show you what I'm wearing first. This, I'll just go back. I don't know, can you see the little, okay? So this is Desert Bloom, this pattern by Rachel Kurihara. Hope I got that right. I made this years ago, like when I first started knitting, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. The yarn is Barocco Sesame. I think Jade is the colorway, but I don't exactly remember. And it's probably discontinued by now anyway. But I really like it. I think I'm gonna knit another one. I love the pattern. I love the peplum at the bottom and the little cross detail and the I-cord. It wasn't very hard to knit. Like I said, I think it was the second garment I ever knit. So I would like to knit it again in a different yarn. I don't love this yarn. So now as I've been knitting more and I've been learning more about yarn, I think I could pick a better yarn for this pattern. So anyway, that's enough about that. Let's go on the New Jersey WoolWalk, and then at the end I'm gonna give you a little taste of everything I bought. We'll do a little haul. My first stop of the day was Rose of Pearl in Chester, New Jersey. This store had a really cute Candyland theme going on. They were giving candy bracelets to every customer that came in, and they had the Candyland squares, the colored squares on the floor like the board game. And I really loved the cozy vibe of this store. Everything was laid out beautifully and organized. And they had a bunch of yarn that I haven't seen before, and this might have been one of my favorite stores of the day. And when you go to Rose of Pearl, you need to leave some time to explore the town of Chester. It's a really cute town. I love the little brick sidewalks. There are tons of shops and places to eat. I stopped at a place called El Monte Coffee. I got a delicious creme brulee latte and some empanadas. And when you're in this area, you're also going to want to go about 5 or 10 minutes south to Bedminster to Burnt Mills. This place has the best hard cider you will ever taste in your life. They often have food trucks and bonfires. It's really a great place to stop. My next store was the Blue Pearl in Harding, New Jersey. They had some really beautiful yarn. I met these 3 women with their tiaras. They were so cute. And they had a ton of this Miss Babs yarn I've never seen before, but holy cow, look at that colorway. I'm going to talk about more at the end. Knit, Knot, and Natter in Pompton Plains was my next stop. This store was really busy and just packed floor to ceiling with tons of yarn. A lot of really fun, special yarns. They had a lot of Sheepy Shire. I think there might have been a trunk show going on, but they had a ton of beautiful Sheepy Shire yarn. But there was a lot of people in there, And again, I was, on a little bit of a tight schedule for the day, so I got a little overwhelmed trying to look at everything. I probably will go back to the store. Knit Tapestry in WoolWalk was my next stop. This store is kind of small, but they had a really nice selection of buttons, like really cool buttons and great sales. I was able to get 4 buttons and enough yarn for a child-size cardigan for $20. Then we went on to the Yarn Diva. Yarn Diva's in Hillsdale, and this is another store that was just full to the brim everywhere. I get a little overwhelmed if things are just, too much, too stocked, too unorganized. They had a lot going on here, and I didn't have a ton of time to really properly look through, but I did find some good yarn on sale. I got a couple of sweater quantities. So I was ready for some lunch, and just a block away was a place called Rockin' Roots. I got a really good chicken chipotle sandwich and some fresh pressed green juice. Then I found this little lake with a trail by it. I took a short walk to stretch my legs and ate my lunch. It was very pretty. Then we were on to Montclair, another fantastic town that you want to visit in New Jersey. Fun fact, there's the Watchung Booksellers in Montclair, and they were named 2026 Bookstore of the Year by Publishers Weekly. Now this town, if you just walk down this street, you're going to find anything you want to eat. Coffee shop, sushi, Italian, Thai, like anything you want to eat, you're going to find it here. Lots of cute shops, great place to just spend an afternoon and walk around. And then you get to go to Yarnia. I think Yarnia was my second favorite store of the day. I really appreciate that it was spacious and organized, and it was, bright in there, and the people were really friendly and helpful. Next, I was on to Wool & Grace, and this is in Summit, New Jersey, and I was running out of time. I didn't have time to explore the town, but I know Summit's a great place. Wool & Grace is, let's see, they have a lot of needlepoint supplies if you're a needle pointer, and they had some great yarn. I didn't find anything super special here, but they had a good selection, and they had a lot of kits, like pre-made kits of yarn and patterns for you. My final stop of the day was Do You Knit in Basking Ridge, and this is the yarn store that I work at. Their own brand of sport weight yarn, it's called Smashing Sport, is literally my favorite yarn to knit with, and Karen always has so many bright, fun colors. They're also one of the few stores that retails spin cycle yarn if you're a big fan, and they have 3 of their own custom colors that you can't find anywhere else. The store is spacious and bright, and there are 2 big tables in the middle where you're always going to find a bunch of really fun women sitting around and knitting. back. I am tired. I went to 8 stores today, and then I worked for 3 hours after that at my local yarn store. So let me show you what we got. I'm going to go in order. Let's see. The first store, let me get my little, so this is what the passport looks like. All right, New Jersey WoolWalk passport. And I'm going to go through all the stores. So the first place I went to was Rose of Pearl in Chester. And this is the yarn I got there. Can you see it has little bits of glitter? Little bits of glitter in addition to the confetti. So Wonderland Yarns, it's a fingering weight. With this, I am going to make, let me look at my list here. I think I'm going to make the Salty Air Tea by Samantha Guerin. And maybe someone can let me know what they think. I'm going to have to do a swatch. Like there's a little bit of a lace pattern at the top, and I don't know if the busyness of this yarn would be a problem. So we'll swatch it and we'll see. But that's my initial plan with this. Okay, then my second store was the Blue Pearl. Now this you guys was an impulse buy. All right. I mean, can you just look at this yarn? Oh my God. I mean, the sparkles and the blues and the greens and the purples, this is just my jam. This is Miss Babs Estrelita fingering again. I have so much fingering weight yarn. So I need to make a ton of summer teas, I think. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. This was not in the plan, but I couldn't resist it because it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. I love it. All right, let's put these back in the bag. Next, we went to Knit Knot and Natter. I did not buy anything at this store. There was a really long line. I was trying to get through my stores. I didn't see anything that I really loved, except they had a Sheepyshire trunk show. That yarn was gorgeous, but it was pretty expensive. It wasn't on sale. So I didn't get anything at that store, but it's a nice store. My fourth store was Knit Tapestry, and there I just bought some, I'm not going to say too much about this because this is a gift. Okay, I'm making a baby cardigan for someone I know that's having a baby. So it's just very, it's a very basic, it's just Plymouth superwash merino, really pretty color. It's a little girl. So, and I got some buttons, but like I said, in case someone were to see this, I'm just not going to say much about that. That's what I got at Knit Tapestry. Then my next store was, I think, Yarn Diva. Let me just check. Yes, Yarn Diva was my next store. And they were so nice in there. They were so nice in there. I bought, okay, this yarn. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that color. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my God, oh my God. All right, so this is Dream Color yarn, and it's their Cosette, or is that the color? Maddie Dream Cosette. Like the label's all crunched up. No, it's Cosette. I should prepare these things before I do a video, but this is what it is. So yes, it is, Cosette is the name of the yarn. It's a DK weight, and it's Violet's Blueberry is the colorway. I love this. It's, it's a little tonal, and with this, I'm doing the Cloud Break Tee by Wool and Pine. And that was all I was going to buy there. And then the woman said to me, oh, you should look at this yarn because it's discontinued and it's 50% off. So how can I say no? How can I say no? Right? This is Knitted Wit. It's sport weight, and the colorway is called Clematis. Sometimes I can't tell if it's the colorway or the way they name their yarn, but anyway. I love purple. Purple is one of my favorite colors, and it's weird because purple is one of my favorite colors, but I don't think I even own one item of clothing that's purple. So I'm gonna fix that with this. This is sport weight, but I could do a DK pattern or whatever. I don't know what. Yeah, nothing on my list, but I will find something. And I mean, it was 50% off, so I had to. And they're so cool there. They gave you this little goodie bag. There are 2 patterns in here. And this little bag that's got some, notions and a little sample of wool wash and a little pad of paper. Business card. Oh, some little stitch markers from Yarn Diva. So that was nice. Little tag, a tapestry needle. I can always use another tapestry needle. I didn't even notice that before. Okay, that's cool. Anyway, that was really nice that they gave a little goodie bag away. I like that. I like that. So that was Yarn Diva. Then we went to Yarnia. Yes. Oh gosh, I actually went to 8 stores. Okay, Yarnia was the next one, which I love that store. I wish I had more time. At that point, I was like running out of time and I was getting a little nervous and stuff. And some of these small towns, it's harder to park. So here's what I bought at Yarnia. Okay, this is 100% linen, Juniper Moon Farm Damask, painted pure linen. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, and it honestly feels a little bit rough, but she had a sample knit up in the store in a shawl, and it felt fine. I just love it. Looks kind of shiny almost, and it's the 100% linen is just a different texture than I've ever worked with. So I wanted to get it, and I really love the color. It's called Tiger Lily. Love it. I love that color. All right, after Yarnia, I went to Wool and Grace. Let's see, Wool and Grace. That's this bag. Wool and Grace. I bought these. I didn't see anything there that like really spoke to me. They had a lot of kits. They also had a lot of needlepoint, or embroidery, or some kind of like a whole room of thread and stuff that I don't know anything about really. But I didn't see anything that was like jumping out at me, and I was going to leave, and then I noticed this. And again, this is a color that I just don't really have a lot of in my wardrobe or repertoire. It's a nice basic linen color, but it has some blues and pinks and yellow. It's like a little bit of pastels running through it, but it's not super variegated. It's called Malibu. It's Emma's yarn, beautifully basic, and this is also a fingering, I believe. Sometimes, yeah, this is a fingering weight yarn too. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I could do socks with this, which would be cute. This is a lot for socks, but I could do socks and like a Sophie scarf to match, or maybe I could find a top. What is this? 438. So yeah, this is actually 438 yards each. So that would be enough to do like a summer top if I wanted to. I just don't know what yet. I just thought it was very versatile color. Okay, and then I went to Do You Knit, and that's the yarn store where I work, and they had a trunk show there, Queen City Yarn, and all the ladies that come and knit at Do You Knit love Queen City's Coleman DK. So I got this color. It's butterscotch, right? And with this, I do know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the Magnolia Tea by Knitting for Breakfast. That's what I'm going to do with this one. So I'm excited. I can't decide if I want to start this one first or the salty air tea. I don't know. I'll probably start this one first because a bunch of women at the store are making that. Actually, a couple people are making the cloud break tea too that I was going to do in this blue. Yeah, I don't know. What should I do first? They're both very summery. Hopefully I can finish them before summer's over. All right, you guys, that is my yarn haul from the New Jersey WoolWalk. It was really fun. Lots of cool towns in northern New Jersey. You know, people think it's like New Jersey is just the shore or cities, but a large amount of New Jersey is farms and charming towns and beautiful wide open spaces. And, you know, if it wasn't so damn expensive, I would say I would 100% love living here. All right, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. See you next time.